A little bit live.
You know, sometimes actually doing work takes priority.
Oh yeah, sure. Sure.
Hey everybody.
Oh,
Hey
How
Jeff.
do you say hello in Japanese? I don't know.
Yes, you do. Arigato. No,
Arigato.
that means thank you. I'm sorry. Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. Okay.
Everybody's saying hey.
I'm trying to type and talk to you fools at the same time. Jeez, Louise.
You poor man.
If you can't multitask by now with three boys, you're really up shit's creek.
Yeah, who said I was doing a good job at that?
What's everybody drink? Anybody drinking Japanese beers? Do you all just come rolling with what you normally have?
Don't everybody answer all at once.
You talking to me?
No, I'm not talking to you.
Talking to the peanut gallery. Where's Howdy Doody?
You know, it's that delay. And like I'm certain some of them, like, you know,
did you mean
they had to go poo, so they paused the live feed. So like they're laughing at jokes like 3 or 4 minutes after it happened.
They're making spicy pickle. They're making spicy pickle beer.
Did you mean to have two blogs in that sentence there, Jeff?
Yeah, let me see here. Let me read that again to myself.
Garnacha. Pinot Noir.
I think you may want to get rid of one of the fours.
No. I got it.
There you go. Much better.
Yeah. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
I would hope the Japanese have the good sense to outlaw the selling of Bud Light in Japan. I mean, if they're smart.
Oh, what the hell is that intro, Solomon? Fair enough.
What intro are you? Oh, you're talking about what I wrote.
Yeah.
Okay. We're drinking Mexican craft lagers brewed in Japan.
And they're all going to taste German. All right. Let's see.
Laura's drinking the Verde Vineyard.
Nice.
There you go.
Can you guys hear this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Fuck you.
It's the weirdest sounding fart I ever heard in my life.
Now everybody, Aaron's wanting the spicy pickle beer.
It's about 90 miles down the Rio Grande by now, Aaron.
There's snakes living in it now.
Probably.
All right. Shall we do this
or
then?
beaver swimming in it, yeah.
You guys
man.
Before we get started?
Do they sell Bud Light in Japan? Yeah, they do. There's McDonald's in Japan too.
Do they give you an ice cream topper for your Bud Light?
No. Well, I didn't buy it.
Did you see they have pizza vending machines in Italy now? The locals aren't happy.
I mean, if you're the local that owns the pizza vending machine, you're pretty happy. I don't know. With as much good pizza as I had in Italy, I had some pretty bad pizza too. Like, you can find bad pizza there.
You can find bad pizza in Italy pretty easily.
You can find bad hamburgers in America too.
Is the pizza in the vending machine Little Caesars though in Italy?
No, I think it's like a 3D printer and it like feeds it out like into your mouth.
I didn't read the whole story, but it looked awful.
It's just bagel bites.
Comes on a fucking bagel. Did you see this is, you know, like sometimes it's the sketches on the tail end of Saturday Night Live, like that come on at like 12:35 in the morning that are some of the worst, but also like some of the most memorable. Do you recall Charlie Sheen being in Iron Chef and he's a stoner? And the secret ingredient is shark heads, and he makes a shark head bagel pizza.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, it was
so
I'm
bad.
old. I don't stay up that late anymore.
Well, it's like weird because Saturday Night Live comes on at like 9 now or something like that. Like,
well, yeah, they actually air it live to other time zones now.
Yeah.
Which
All right.
I kind of like.
Yeah. All right. You guys set?
So nice.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm always ready.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
I was born ready.
Uh-huh.
Roll
I
it.
have been ready since first call.
At the sound of the tone, the official "We Like Drinking" time will be 5 o'clock. Commence consumption.
This week on episode 328 of the We Like Drinking podcast, we'll be discussing chlorophyll challenges, blogs canceling blogs for canceling beef, and we're drinking Mexican craft lagers brewed in Japan that all probably taste like they're from Germany. So crack open that beer, uncork that wine, and let's get drinking! Man, it's like
I'm doing the Japanese pour, which, by the way, anybody who's ever been to Japan knows you got to have about this much head on your lager.
This much.
And I'll talk about why maybe a little bit later. I don't know if you know this. I went to Japan one time.
So, podcast listeners, you need this much head on your when you pour beer. Apparently, when you're in Japan.
I'm listening to audio only. I don't know what to do. I'm crashing my car. Is that what you envisioned?
It's all kinds of time is a flat circle going on tonight with blogs and multiple countries and stuff. Look at John Ruyak, beautiful head.
There you go.
So let me just say cheers, my podcast drinking friends, and welcome to Happy Hour 328 of your favorite award-winning topical beer and wine education podcast focusing on fun.
Fun. I'm trying to make. Oh, what's a good Japanese symbol I could try to put in the top of the foam of my beer? What does a yuzu tree look like?
I don't know, like the tree of life, man.
I don't think I was successful.
No, you didn't pull it off. I got to make sure I go slow roll through the intro last week, since last week I was like the Micro Machine guy on the commercial back in the 80s or 90s. So make sure you never miss another episode of our brand of drinking fun by visiting welikedrinking.com/subscribe.
Subscribe.
You know,
Yes.
we had a leak in the brewery. We had built some gutters and things to help funnel water. We're having a leak in that, and we used some Gorilla Tape, and it sealed it all up. So
you didn't use some flex tape?
No, because I wasn't sure we were going to use that trough to go out fishing on Lake Cochiti or anything like that. So I didn't think it was quite as important.
Or Flex Seal. It's Flex Seal.
This is some really extreme tape, guys.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks. Yeah, I figured out where I left the one that I couldn't find. So
konnichiwa. Arigato gozaimasu.
right. So let's find out who we're drinking with and what we're drinking. We are joined by our usual panel members. We have our California Sustainable Wine Growing Ambassador and recovering wine blogger, Jeff Solomon.
Hey, konbanwa.
Our commercial brewer and snake wrangler, John Ruyak.
Hi.
And I am your host and certified specialist of wine, Jeff Eccles. A quick turnaround from between tasting episodes. It feels like last month We did our celebrity tasting. That was a lot of fun.
That was 2 weeks ago.
It's got a lot of play too. That's quickly climbing up in the most watched We Like Drinking episodes that we've had. So that's been fun. But this time around, we're going to be doing Japanese craft beer. John's been pushing for this one for a few months now. So it'll be interesting to hear why he's wanted this one so badly. And I'm frankly shocked that we all were even able to find any.
I was totally surprised. And I've been to Japan. I swear to you, I didn't see any craft beer there at all.
So, what, you want me to talk about it now?
No. We'll get into it. That was some foreshadowing, John.
Oh, that's one of those techniques you use in podcasts to get people to listen later.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we should try that sometime.
That's probably too late.
I just need to see the graph, like listening times, and it's 30 seconds and then a precipitous drop.
So yeah, John, let's talk about what it is you have to partake in tonight.
All right. I bought 6 Japanese beers. 5 of them were craft. I'm only drinking one tonight. I've had a string of 14-hour days. And the reason I made the suggestion and the Patreons chose that amongst the other choices is like anybody else, I go to Total Wines every now and then to pick up stuff, and I look in the beer aisle, and for the longest time, I was seeing all kinds of Japanese craft beers all over the place there. Don't you know, when I go there this time, the selection isn't quite as large. I did manage to find 5. One was a Sopporo Dark, so I wouldn't call that, craft. But anyway, so I picked up a ginger beer. I picked up a couple of white IPAs. They also had some Indian stuff and some craft beer from China. But what I am drinking on the show this evening is Sari, which is a ale brewed with yuzu, which is the national citrus fruit of Japan, and sea salt.
Ooh, nice.
And on the back it says, "We brewed a truly Japanese beer that we wanted to drink without being bound to the conventional beer styles and standard recipes. Yuzu is the beloved citrus fruit of Japan. Its juiciness is brought out front and center on the palate by the savory aragio, or traditional Japanese sea salt."
Interesting.
Yoho Brewing, Japan.
Citrus and salt. It almost sounds like a Mexican craft lager.
And Yoho is in Nagano.
Nice. That one sounds pretty good. Solomon, what are you drinking?
I had picked up several beers. I'm only going to taste 2 of them on the show because unlike John, I'm not a lightweight. So hey, earlier I went on a walk with the boys. That's what you do when you got kids. You take a road soda with you. I had some Kawaba Pearl Rice Pilsner. This was coming in at right around 5%, and I gotta say it tasted like a very well-intentioned Sopporo or Asahi or Kirin Ichiban. And what I poured just now to kind of pair against it that I am going to be trying on the show. This is the Koshi Hikari Echigo beer from Echigo Beer Brewery in Japan. And this right here, this is like a it's a bomber, but like Pliny the Elder size, so like a small bomber. And I'm just pouring a little bit in here to compare to it. And again, I'm not going to get deep into the flavor on that one because it's a fucking lager. It tastes like a German lager. But I did see a couple from Hitachino Nest from the Kyuchi Brewery. They have a white ale right here.
Yeah, I actually purchased one of those.
which is brewed with spices and orange juice. So it sounds interesting, but honestly, like it wasn't suiting my fancy right here. But when I saw the espresso stout, and this owl is just gacked out on that espresso stout, I had to pick that up. So I'm going to be having this lager, and then I'm going to be finishing it off with a stout a little bit later.
The ginger one that I mentioned was from Hitachi Nest, and they also, what they didn't have, which I wanted to pick up, was one that has plums in it, and they were out of that one.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like they've got if anything, some good distro, and I hope the beer's good too.
Right. So I've got two as well. The first one I'm going to be going with is the Koedo, Coedo Shiro. This is the Hefeweizen. So I'm interested to see what they do with that one. One thing I didn't look at until we sat down, which I wish I would have looked at earlier, is the package done date, which is August 20th of 2019. So I've got that going for me. And then
older than COVID.
Right. Age is good on a wheat beer, right, John? That's what you're looking for there.
Sure. I would turn it upside down a couple of times before I'm not joking.
Hold a candle to the neck while you're pouring it, just to be sure. I get some of that some of that kombucha chunder.
There's definitely some chunder in the bottom of that glass. And then I also have the same one that Jeff Solomon has, the espresso stout from the Hitachino Nest, which is in reality the Kaiuchi brewery. So yeah, these will be fun to get into. So yeah, John, I wonder if is there any history that you wanted to talk about with Japanese beers?
Yeah, and Solomon mentioned before Kirin, Sopporo, Ichiban, right?
Kirin, Ichiban, Sopporo, Asahi.
Sopporo was responsible for the development of the Sriracha Ace hop, which was developed in Japan and has lots of notes of lemongrass and things like that. But there was large breweries kind of dominated the scene, as most places in the latter part of the 20th century. There was finally some tax deregulation regarding breweries in 1994, and things haven't taken off quite as quickly in Japan. Being a more traditional society, I guess it's tough. Not to mention the expense and things of that nature. But Nagano, Tokyo, Osaka, those places are really active in craft beer scenes. At latest count, there's only a little more than 200 craft breweries in Japan. Think about it. I mean, they do have agricultural areas, and with their northern climes, barley might be a good place. It might be a good place to grow barley, but farmland is at a premium.
Yeah, for sure.
In Japan, it's very rocky. Fertile plains and valleys are hard to come by. So you can imagine that brewing there is probably pretty expensive. I guess what they in the beginning, what they considered, or when these things started, they were just calling it their local brewery, and the word for that is Jibiru, which sounds kind of familiar. And then Kurafatu Bia, which is a closer moniker for the term craft beer. At this point, it seems like a little research that I've done is a lot of these craft breweries, because of the expense, are associated or at least financially backed by sake producers, which are trying to expand their offerings.
Makes sense.
So,
all right.
And for reals, I just wanted to throw some stuff out there. I'd imagine, depending on the area in Japan you're at, there are going to be some differences, but in general, Japan, especially as you start getting towards like the summer months, insanely like hot and muggy, and literally in my experience in Japan, you order wine there, whether it's white or red, it's fucking ice cold. And when you order beer, it's on the verge of being freezing. And that tall head that they like to pour more than anything else is to trap the cool side inside. And so it makes a lot of sense to me why it's like just really common that folks are gravitating towards, like, dude, just give me like a macro lager. And honestly, when I was there and like asking around, I'm like, do you have any other different kind of beers? The other thing that they drink a lot there, they just call it malts, and it's packaged all fancy, but malts literally is just fucking malt liquor that comes in like a fancy glass. So it doesn't surprise me that craft breweries aren't as widespread, especially because like this coffee stout may be amazing, but I can imagine that most of the time it's the last thing you want to drink.
Right.
There, you know?
And that's why the Sapporos and the Kirin Ichiban, they do so well, because, Sapporo is basically a Pilsner, right? And Kirin Ichiban is kind of a more malt forward, but still a lighter style in beer. And the Asahi is a very dry style as well. So pairs well with the foods that you expect to be coming out of Japan and the heat, Jeff Solomon.
And here's something I'm just going to pull out of my butt. I'm pretty sure Sopporo owns Ridge Winery.
Oh, really?
Just throwing that out there. Where's JVB? Somebody look that up real quick. Tell me I'm right in the comments. Where the fuck is Rhett? Hashtag tell me I'm right.
Yeah.
Why isn't everybody who's supposed to be watching live, as they ought to do every Tuesday night around 7:30-ish Pacific on YouTube or WeLikeDrinking.com/show? Where are the rest of you? It's good to see Laura and Cody and Brad and Aaron and but I feel like we're missing some folks.
Just call him Dan.
Sure, just
All right, Solomon, you've been trying to get into that glass for a while now. So why don't you take us out with your tasting notes of which one is this you're tasting?
Okay, so yeah, this is the Koshi Hikari Ekijo beer from Ekijo Beer. I do love the fact that in Japan it's just biru. Like you just hold up a finger and say biru. It's beautiful. You ever seen that movie Lost in Translation, by the way? No. Wow. Everybody, if you're ever like planning on like going to Japan, watch Lost in Translation first and then watch it after you get back, and then you go, oh, I get it now. But anyways, this is, it's just a delicious, crisp, straightforward lager. There's absolutely nothing special to this. I'm not going to be arrogant enough to tell you that like, oh yes, if you blind tested me this against Asahi or Sapporo or Kirin Ichiban, I wouldn't tell you which one was the craft beer. This is just, it's delicious. It's well made. You know the notes. Not quite like a dorm carpet. But it's in that same realm. I'm excited to get through this and then get into that stout. So you guys talk.
Throw it back.
Yeah.
All right.
Go for it, Johnny.
Well,
I think
go for it,
Jeffy.
Jeffy.
Yeah. So I've got this Koido Shiro, 2-year-old or year and a half, 18-month-old wheat beer. Yeah, on the nose, it's very there's quite a bit of fat frat house carpet coming up. And it's got that stale wheat aroma to it as well. It's super exciting.
It'd be
like
really good.
like kind of like when if you left a bowl of shredded mini wheats in the sink overnight and you came in and smelled them the next morning or something.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say this would go great with some okonomiyaki. I'm not gonna lie about that. I'm just gonna use up all the Japanese words that I know by that.
The finish on this one's something.
Is it crisp? That's the old one, right?
It's not crisp on the finish. Hold on a second here.
If it's is it a Hefeweizen?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be that clear.
No, it really shouldn't, should it? No, I mean,
no.
I think what you need to do is shake it up, trap the foamy head in a Ziploc bag, throw it in the freezer for 2 hours, come back and dump the frozen head.
Oh, okay. I see the cloud.
Oh, there you go. Oh, that's not. Yeah, that's not good. There shouldn't be like a fucking luge that breaks out.
It shouldn't look like the fog from the Ten Commandments.
My grandma once grabbed a warm 5-year-old Michelob Light out of her pantry to give to me one time, and I looked at it and I went, "I'm good, Grandma. Thanks, though."
What's with the adults in your family giving you all this really crappy beer to taste?
Yeah, I know. The weird part, I was only 8.
Oh, the chunder adds a lot. The chunder adds a lot to the flavor profile.
Need to go brush your teeth.
I don't think. Look, obviously, that's an old ass beer that's not supposed to be that old. You gotta everybody, please. Let's not walk away from this.
No.
We like drinking. Really did an expose. They told the hashtag truth about Japanese craft beer.
No, you know what? Like, I'm not the biggest fan of wheat beers in the world. So
who is? What are you, like 22?
This one's not bad. It's not bad. You definitely want to make sure you get the chunder in it. To really that brings a little bit more of the flavor out. It brings a little bit more of the weediness out. So yeah, I'm not gonna dog this one. I'll just say make sure, like John said, you got to give it a little swish before you
drop a orange slice in there.
That's what I really need right now is an orange slice with those. And John, let's get into yours.
Okay, so I was looking at the label here, 4.5% ABV. I've been tasting it a little bit while you guys were yammering about your stuff. But when I taste mine, now when I smell it, let me see on the nose, it's very citrusy, and I've never had yuzu before, so I guess what I'm smelling is that. My wife said that they used to make some sort of yuzu bath salt at one of those places in the mall. That looks nice, actually.
This looks beautiful.
And when I taste it, and I've been tasting it, the salt comes through more pronounced than the citrus, although the citrus is there. So I'm not sure how many of these I could drink without raising my blood pressure, but it's tasty. Yeah, what is missing a little bit, and I'm not sure what they were trying to hit with this beer, is this says it's an ale, and I'm not getting. This is more like a. I never drink. It's more like a shandy almost.
There you go.
Okay.
So there's a lot of the salt and the citrus in here, and I'm not getting a lot of beer flavor. So.
Nothing better than a yuzu shandy and a Werther's original.
Oh my goodness, we were talking about Werther's at work today.
Oh man, everybody had like the creepy lady that lived on their street that would give away free Werthers if you knocked on their door.
I used to work with a guy who had a bowl of Werther's on his desk.
Okay.
He was a lot old. He was
Watch
a lot
out
older
for that
than
guy.
me. He was a lot older than me. He drove a white van. I couldn't figure it out.
Jeff, did you want to get into the stout?
I do. I did want to say, yuzu and my familiarity with it is like a more like subtle, subdued type of citrus fruit. So it doesn't surprise you when you say like it's
to me it doesn't taste orangey, and I was told it was more like oranges. To me, it's more like a very subtle lemon.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
So Jeff, before you go into that, Aaron says that per Google, Ridge Winery is owned by the Otsuko Pharmaceutical Ltd.
Do a deep dive on that, Aaron. Who does Otsuko Pharmaceutical own?
Okay, so the stout.
Did they implant the microchip in my brain? What the? That was the craziest thing ever.
Is that the microchip beeping in your brain?
Apparently. You're not supposed to talk about the microchips. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm fine.
The walls seem to be closing in on you, Solomon.
Oh, geez, Louise. What was in my glass? Oh, my God. Okay, so the Hitachino Nest Espresso Stout from Kyuchi Brewery in Konsu, Nakashi, Japan. John mentioned as I poured it, this is a beautiful color, just like super dark brown, nearing on black in color, and just a wonderful like mocha frappuccino head on there. And on the nose, Eccles, you're getting that chocolatey, nutty espresso. Like this is not one of those ones like, are you sure it's a coffee stout? Like,
right.
It definitely is. And dare I say, like a craft espresso coffee.
Yeah.
Like this, it's
almost some Russian Imperial Stout kind of aromas on this one. Maybe not as boozy, but this song comes in at 7%.
Yeah. Which is the write-up on it, definitely modeled after a Russian Imperial Stout, a little bit more subdued alcohol-wise. But yeah, the nose is all espresso, all stout, maybe like a little bit of like flaked oats on the nose too. And then on the palate, rich.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Creamy finish. There's something in there though, Eccles, like the mid palate. Did you also get like this weird like acidity that kind of like raced through like the fore palate into the mid palate, but then it like clears out to really, it tastes like I just slammed like just like a really like rich and syrupy latte. Like this is really good.
There's a lot of coffee.
Yeah.
There's a lot of coffee in this one.
What is that on the front? It's kind of like a fruity type of front palate there. Like there's almost a little, it's not like chocolate covered cherries or chocolate covered cassis, but it's as if there was some sort of like cherry cassis essence mixed in with some dark chocolate. Like there are like these notes of like these red and purple fruits up front. It's almost like that one jerk in front of you in Starbucks that was like, give me half a pump of cherry. Like it's almost a little bit of that in your coffee, but this is delicious
This really is good.
and just interesting. And I like the fact that it's a little bit lower on the ABV. Like this is an imperial stout that is, almost verging on an IPA whose ABV is so low you're not going to buy it, because there's one right next to it that's 8%.
All right. That's, man, there is a lot of coffee in that one.
You guys, I know I saw the pictures that you got one, so I'm like, I'm not going to get that. And now I got to go out and get one.
I think you do. And I think you need it with breakfast. And I think just
with pancakes and maple syrup and a side of bacon or sausage.
Well, traditionally in Japan, you would have some onigiri, which is essentially like a triangle of rice with a little surprise inside. I like it with the smoked salmon, but that's the Jew in me coming out just a little bit.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with that.
The Jew in me comes out all the time. But then also, I'd love with like some thick cut, undercooked bacon. I think would be delicious. And that's the other side of my family, John, in case you're
undercooked.
Like some people like their bacon like hella crispy. Like I like it a little bit underdone compared to most. I like it a little floppy. Like I can fucking slap you with it and it'll hurt.
I've never eating breakfast at your house. I'm never eating breakfast at your house ever.
No, dude. I just fucking, I got pigs in my backyard. I just fucking like take a Freddy Krueger glove to them and just start.
You're gonna slap me with some greasy floppy bacon. It's not right.
Cody did say he's forever going to order a half pump of cherry when ordering Starbucks, just in the off chance that Solomon is in line behind him.
Son of a gun! What is a half pump even?
All right. Anything else on the tasting notes for these guys?
This is what I really thank you, John, and thank you, patrons. That's welikedrinking.com/pledge. Thank you for throwing this out there. This was totally, definitely not a forethought and barely an afterthought, but searching out craft Japanese beers, it got me really excited. Not so much going for like the lagery, pilsnery type of play, because it's kind of what you would expect. But God, I've never even, like, if you'd have told me a couple of weeks ago, have you ever had an imperial espresso stout from Japan? I would tell you they don't even exist. What are you talking about? But
right.
Yeah, I'm really glad to have tried that. So I think everybody, next time you're in the Bevmos, in the Total Wines, next time you're supporting your local bottle shop, take a look in the Japan section, see what you can find. I think you might surprise yourself.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Good call, John. And thank you, patrons. I never would have gone here without you guys, so I appreciate that. But now we get to see what John's got in store for us with
wine, beer, spirit, or pop culture reference. Okay, you know the drill. I'm going to give these guys a term, go around the table, see how intelligent they may be about this stuff. So this week's term is grant. Grant.
Sean,
seems like an easy word.
Can you spell that, brah?
I'd be happy to spell that. G R A, N, wait for it, T.
In the context with which you're using it, must the G be always capitalized?
No.
Hmm.
If it's
All
at
right.
the beginning of a sentence, certainly.
Okay.
All right. With that in mind, Eccles, what do you think? Grant.
Man, there's so many ways to go with this one. This could be some kind of crazy measurement, or I can't really think of anything in the wine world that this is going to be related to. Maybe went something in the beer world that I'm not thinking of. And there's always the spirit chance, but I'm going to punt on this one, and I'm just going to say that this is a pop culture reference. And I'm going to say, you know what? I have no idea what this is. I can't even come up with something witty to say for this, but then I never can. So let's just go to Solomon.
Okay, Solomon.
Wow.
Take a stab at it.
Way to suck the air out of the room, Jeff. So, okay, here's my train of thought. I'm going to totally disregard when you said that the G could be lowercase. I'm going to keep it uppercase. I'm going to say Grant is in reference to former NBA player Grant Hill. And I know what you're thinking, like, oh, Jeff is saying it's a pop culture reference. No, I'm not. You know what Grant Hill drinks? Sprite. I know it from the commercials. Grant Hill drinks Sprite. And what would I pair with Sprite? A wine, a beer, or a spirit? The answer is obviously a beer. Grant is a measurement associated with the density of the acreage planted of hops. Grant.
Oh, okay, so you think it's a beer term. Okay.
It's a beer term.
All right. Grant is a beer term, but I'm only giving you 1/10 of a point, which is better than Eccles' 0.
Yeah, for sure.
But okay, so this is an interesting term. A grant is a place where wort flows into and is pumped out of, but not to create suction or pressure against the liquid that is feeding it. So you have a container. So when we make beer, everybody knows, most people know about the mash tun. So this could actually be a spirit term as well. All the grains are put in the mash tun. We add water to it, mix it all around, let it sit for an hour and a half. And after a while, we need to clarify it and then move it into the kettle. The liquid falls into a grant, and it's left to rise in that container, that grant, naturally, and then it is pumped out separately, not under suction, but to recirculate back into the mash tun to clarify, or after that process is done and you've clarified the wort, it goes into the kettle. So it is a grant is a container where liquid flows in and is pumped out without creating a suction type of pressure on the bottom of the grain bed.
Also known as the Grant Pass.
No, there's where's Grant Pass?
I have no idea. I think it's a place, but it sounds
it
like
is a place.
There.
Some people got eaten there or something.
It's like some place that doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Has nothing to do with my term for this week, which was Grant.
It's beer term.
There you go. You learned something today. Just like the Bill Cosby show.
There you go. Jeff Solomon.
I learned stay away from Bill Cosby. I mean, what?
Jeff Solomon, how about you give us our read this week?
Our read.
How about you talk to us about Dracaena wine?
Oh my God. Yeah. Do I want to talk about Dracaena wines? Let me tell you something right now. I was so excited to see our friend Aaron in the chat talking to our friend Lori of Dracaena Wines real time. So excited to let Lori know that he just ordered some of the Chenin from Dracaena Wines in Paso Robles. You know we are fans of Lori and the Dracaena Wines wine company. And we just want everybody to get in on that good juice coming out of Paso Robles. So I think you really just need to go and order some of that wine for yourself. Dracaena Wines is going to give you 5% off when you enter the promo code WLD at checkout. And here's what is so fantastic. You get 5% off. The We Like Drinking podcast also gets a 5% commission on that. So you are supporting our friend Lori. You are supporting us in that process. And at the end, you get some delicious wine to drink. It's a win-win-win proposition. You win, we win, she win, we all win when you drink that Chenin, when you drink that Syrah Rosé, and when you have the most delectable, the most decadent of all the Bordeaux varieties. I'm talking about, of course, what Dracaena Wines is known for. Their Cabernet Franc will blow your mind. Go get some of that good juice at https://welikeDrinking.com/wine. Enter the promo code WLD at checkout for 5% off, baby.
Eccles.
Yes.
If you ever ask me to do anything like that or follow that in the following weeks, I'm just going to say no. That was awesome.
That was pretty awesome, Jeff Solomon. Well done. The hype man cometh.
Yeah, that is my official that is my official title with We Like Drinking. I'm the official hype man of the podcast.
That's right. That's right. Okay.
It literally says it on my business card.
It literally does. I
I think it does.
This should be fun. Let's get to this next. Booze news. We discuss interesting, noteworthy, or sometimes some pretty silly things. Now, all right. Do you guys remember the ice bucket challenge from a few years ago?
Do I remember the ice bucket challenge during the middle of a drought in California when everybody poured wonderful drinking water all over themselves onto the ground where it evaporated to raise money for ALS, which of course is a wonderful cause. But yeah, I remember the ice bucket challenge.
I remember
I was
buying
the a-hole. I was the a-hole that said, if any of you challenge me to that, I will beat you up.
I bought an ice bucket.
Good.
Oh no, wait! I stole it from a hotel.
How about the cinnamon challenge? Do you guys remember the cinnamon challenge?
I mean, I don't remember that as a viral thing, but I just,
Right.
you know, that's
You
like
remember
the
seeing
saltine
cinnamon?
cracker challenge. I bet you can't eat 10 saltines.
People would take a spoonful of cinnamon and put it in their mouth, and then it would immediately dry their mouth out, and then they would just be coughing clouds of cinnamon.
You know, excess cinnamon intake is damaging to your kidneys. You know that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so are Tide Pods. It didn't stop me.
I mean, and we can go
saltine
back.
I could eat a whole fucking sleeve of saltines. Don't give me that bullshit.
Go back. Do you guys remember the Harlem Shake?
Yes.
I've been to Harlem and gone to McDonald's and gotten the chocolate shake.
Those were all great. Those were all some great challenges. They were
do the Harlem Shake.
whoop, 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 whoop.
Never heard of it. I literally had a student walk in 15 minutes late to my class one time, acting like nothing was wrong. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? He's like, sorry, Mr. Solomon. I had to do the Harlem Shake. Oh, what a jerk.
Back in the day when challenges were fun. Then came, 2020.
Who never had fun chugging a gallon of milk in 10 minutes?
The Tide Pod challenge that Jeff Solomon referenced. You've seen some recently. What are some of the recent ones that people are doing?
Oh, the Gatorade skateboard thing to Fleetwood Mac or whatever.
Yep. Well,
you mean the one guy?
The one dude,
it was cranberry juice. I'm sorry, it was cranberry.
Drinking ocean spray.
There's the one floating around now where somebody gets naked and then goes walking in on their significant other playing video games to see if they'll choose the video games or the naked person. They always choose the naked
that's
person.
the thing that they do. People are just filming themselves naked and putting them on the internet, and they're like, look at this dumbass over here playing video games that doesn't see me naked. Meanwhile, you're naked on the internet. Look at that dumbass.
They're not, the camera's not pointed at themselves, Jeff Solomon.
Then okay.
It's pointed at the reaction of the person seeing the naked person.
Oh, well, there's nothing
that makes it not very fun at all.
Yeah, nothing greater than a reaction video. Those are fucking dumb. Did you see those two kids listening to Phil Collins? Oh, damn!
Yeah, those are
that
terrible.
Was crazy how they were listening to Phil Collins. And they reacted to what they heard.
So
every week we do a reaction podcast where we drink stuff and we react to it. That we just need to change the title.
The latest. I mean, there's tons
3
of
old
ones.
dudes react to Japanese beer.
That'll be a hit.
That's some fucking SEO right
there. You go. I'm doing that tomorrow. The latest hot TikTok trend, is the liquid chlorophyll challenge. So you could buy liquid chlorophyll and people are adding it to their water and drinking it. And it's got all kinds, folks, all kinds of fantastic benefits to doing this. Like
the one thing you do know is it goes in green and it comes out green.
It helps you lose weight. It helps clear up your skin.
Sure it does. Remember when people are like drinking bleach to get rid of the worms in their intestines? You go, look at all these worms that are floating around in my toilet. Those aren't worms, dumbass. That's called your intestinal lining shedding because you just drank fucking bleach. Sorry.
So this has become such a hot trend that the companies that make liquid chlorophyll are now saying that they won't be able to. This was 3 weeks ago. They wouldn't be able to ship anymore until May because they've literally just completely run out.
How hard
shelves are clear, John Ruyak, emptied out.
Well, there's a lot of other things emptied out, like the bowels of the people that are drinking this chlorophyll. I mean, how hard is it to make chlorophyll? I drive by stock ponds in rural New Mexico that are full of green algae. That's all chlorophyll.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want to drink that.
Well, what's the difference?
Hey, dude, I used to work at fucking a smoothie shop in downtown Santa Cruz, California. I was fucking putting spirulina and fucking wheatgrass shots into people's smoothies. Oh, wasn't that a treat when people go, yeah, I want 3 ounces of wheatgrass in my strawberry smoothie.
Ew.
And I was like, you sure you want to do that? Oh, yeah, I love it. I do it all the time. I'm like, I don't think you do. You want to take a strawberry smoothie and make it not taste like strawberries? That's what you want it to taste
like grass?
You know what? You should have been
There's a reason why you take a shot of it and don't blend it in to a fucking 32-ounce ice cold smoothie that you must drink slower. You get brain freeze because it tastes like you're the lawnmower.
By the way,
and you're eating somebody's ass made out of grass.
By the way, liquid
your
chlorophyll.
Ass is grass, and my mouth is the lawnmower.
Liquid chlorophyll doesn't contain chlorophyll.
What?
It has a derivative of chlorophyll called chlorophyllin.
Oh, that's like psyllium stuff. It's just to clear you out.
So these two guys, the other two panel members, they're big into the sciences. They're science guys. So I really wanted to get their take on if everybody should be doing the liquid chlorophyll challenge. I'm going to start with John Riak.
So if I drink it and then I hang upside down and all the chlorophylla goes to my bald head, I can walk around and not have to eat for a couple of days.
Or maybe you'd get some kind of chia pet reaction.
Oh, and I could grow hair, right?
Yeah.
I could grow chia pets out of my skull.
There you go.
That'd be awesome. And then if I wanted to make a wheatgrass smoothie, I'd just shave my head and put it in there.
There you go. Problem solved. Jeff?
I hate to break it to everybody. Whether it's chlorophyll or a derivative of chlorophyll, there's fucking no nutritional value in the chlorophyll, everybody. I hate to break it to you. Like, that's not the way that things work. Like, so you're thinking you're gonna eat a bunch of chlorophyll and then all of a sudden you're gonna have this like weird like endosymbiotic relationship, and now you just go out into the sun and you fucking grow and you make your own glucose. You fucking after you belch out carbon dioxide, your fucking pores soak it back up and you draw water up through your feet and then you turn it into glucose. So now you're walking around on a fucking sugar high. Is that what you think happens? Like, it's just stop. Just everybody stop. And here's the thing that drives me crazy. I'm certain the same folks that do the chlorophyll challenge and fucking load up on all those supplements are the exact same people that are like, yeah, dude, I do the real food challenge. No, you don't. If you're thinking you need to add all this other stuff to the stuff that you already eat, you're not eating real food. Eat what you like, do what you like. If you think that paying a whole bunch of extra money for some liquid chlorophyll that's not really technically even chlorophyll, if that's what you want to do, that's fucking fine. You're just a dummy. You're the same dummy who probably like thinks that like getting colonics for some sort of health cleanse to get rid of toxins is a good idea. Like, oh, dude, your body walks around with 500 pounds of poo inside of it all the time. No, it doesn't. That's not how your body works.
So
Go
you're
get
saying,
a degree.
so
That's
you're
all you
saying,
need to
you're
do.
saying I
Get a
shouldn't.
degree. These are the same folks that post pictures of recipes that other people made and they go, I'm totally gonna do this one day. No, you're not. You're not gonna do anything. Shut up.
So I can't remove the heavy metals from my body by soaking my feet.
Yeah, no, what you need to do during flu season is just cut an onion in half and leave it in the corner of your room. It'll fucking absorb all the flu.
Oh, awesome. I've
No,
only
you,
one
I'm
thing.
sorry, you put the onions in your socks.
There you go.
Oh, I am Groot.
Okay. So you may be wondering why I brought that story up. It was mostly just to fire these other two up so that we could get into the next segment, so that Solomon's going to have to put his glass down because he's going to go on such a tangent here. But Jeff Solomon, can you tell us what mashes your pulp?
Beep, 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 beep. Pulp mashed. I'm trying to. I feel like this segment might need to have another name or something. You know what I hate? Here's what I hate, and I get it. You know, I know many of us have been talking about, you know, taking well-needed breaks from social media, and I just want to talk about the one of the things that I hate the most is. Have y'all ever had like somebody passively aggressively tag you in a post before? It's
Yeah, for sure.
you don't fucking know me. I didn't fucking co-sign on this shit that you're saying right here, right? And look, I'm nobody special. So if somebody ever fucking name drops or like tags me in something, it's not like they're getting any sort of clout. But here's what I hate. And I see this a lot. And I'm sorry, like I know that, you know, we have a lot of friends, like, you know, Eccles and I both kind of started and met each other as wine bloggers, right? And you know, as you're kind of feeling yourself out in this space, sometimes you do some cringy things that in retrospect you're like, yeah, I don't think I'd ever do a post like that ever again. And I don't think I'd ever jump into somebody's comment section and use it as a way to, like, you know, name drop my own blog, which is something that I did a long time ago. And it's just gross and it's not authentic. But there's nothing I hate worse than and here I am about to go on a rant. There's nothing I hate worse than an insincere rant that is done solely and specifically and so obviously it's done to fucking grasp on to the followers of somebody that has more followers than you, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
here's the thing. Have y'all ever heard of Epicurious before?
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
the name kind of jumps out, right? So you know, they do a lot of recipes online. Just on their Facebook page, they have well over 1 million followers on Facebook, right? So I mean, they're pretty well respected, well known, and they've got some great recipes, right? Have any of you ever heard of Vindulge before? So a little bit less
that I have.
a little bit lesser known, and obviously, you know, Vindulge and the folks behind Vindulge, they kind of run in, you know, some wine bloggy circles too. But Vindulge, you know, it's mainly recipes and sometimes they pair things with wine, and they've got a lot of followers. I'm not playing, like on Facebook, they've got over 100,000 followers, right? And, Vindulge, they have like such amazing posts, like such wonderful posts about, instead of beer can chicken, try wine can chicken. Like that's, oh, wow, that's fucking thought provoking. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Those are the types of wonderful, amazing, interactive posts that Vindulge does. And usually they're pretty quick, grocery shopping. Do you love it or hate it? Those are the wonderful things that Vindulge puts out into the world. So here's the thing. Going back to Epicurious. Epicurious around Earth Day had put out a post saying that, hey, I don't know if y'all have noticed, we haven't published a recipe with beef in it since 2019. And a lot of people are, along the way, we get a lot of questions like, hey, where are all the beef recipes? And they're still there. They just don't post any new ones and haven't in over 2 years now. And, they had a little blog post about, not saying that they're against beef, but just talking about, in the world of sustainability and thinking about sustainability, 15% of greenhouse gas emissions come from the raising and processing of livestock, and of livestock, 61% of those emissions are coming from meat and dairy cows. And their point was, we have plenty of beef recipes already. We don't feel the need to put any more. And if you were feeling like you were saying, if there was one ingredient that you could cut out that could make a bigger difference, beef would be it. And obviously the food industry isn't perfect, and there are some nuances to that, but that's why we haven't done any beef recipes since 2019. Well, Vindulge, they lost their shit. And I am so sorry. Give me a second here. Oh my God. I feel like over-prepared and under-prepared at the exact same time. Give me one moment. This is coming out of the final product, everybody. But everybody live, just wait for it, because this is just the most garbage bullshit post I have ever seen in my entire life. Here it comes. And I'm going to read the whole thing because I need you to know that I am, after today, canceling my Vindulge subscription. Quote. And I might have some things to say during it. So if you're not sure if it's me or the article, I'm the one yelling. Quote from Vindulge. The growth of beef isn't killing our planet. Our indifference to caring about where our food comes from is. And I will say, if that was the only thing that they posted, I think it's fair to say that there's some nuance there, right? And I think that's a fair statement. Here's where they go off track. We strongly encourage anyone who feels that canceling a protein from your diet is somehow the answer to a sustainable planet. In parentheses, I'm talking to you, Epicurious, with a hyperlink tagged. Research the importance that small and regenerative agriculture have on our, it's just your grammar sucks too, Vindulge, sorry, have on our economic and agricultural ecosystem. There are definitely some bad actors out there that don't have a business model that considers sustainability in all industries. But more often than not, if you took the time to reach out to a local rancher or farmer, you'll hear more about how much they care for their animals and land than we give credit for. Well, first of all, and I'm going to break away, fuck you, Vindulge, because the majority of beef that is bought and sold, not just in the United States, but in the entire world, is not coming from these small mom and pop farmers. And just because you're a mom and pop farmer, it doesn't mean that the cows that you were super nice to were not more efficient than poultry or pork or fucking beans. But let's keep going. All right. Is the answer to engineer our food? How many engineered ingredients go into fake, highly processed burgers? Spoiler alert, more than 20. I'm going to get more into that in a second. But again, fuck you, Vindulge. And how much energy does it take to actually create those quote unquote proteins? And guess what? Some of those very ingredients, like refined oils and GMOs, aren't so good either on our ecosystem or our bodies. Well, okay, look, Vindulge, you are trying to paint this broad brush that GMOs and the business practices synonymous with a lot of GMOs are very questionable. But if you're going to say that GMOs are bad for your health, I would like to see what actual evidence you have to support that, as opposed to you just saying that because you're going to get a lot of people to go, yeah, fuck GMOs. Fuck you, Vindulge. You don't know what you're talking about there. I will also say this, Vindulge. You're kind of starting to go in this weird direction where Epicurious is just saying, like, hey, we're not going to post recipes about beef anymore. And here's why. There's a whole bunch out there. Anyways, here's the part where they totally can kiss my butt. Don't get me wrong, they say. I have many friends living a plant-based vegan life, and they do amazing things with their real food. I have friends that are vegan. Where have I heard that before? Okay. But just thinking that somehow we eliminate beef or any other meat product will somehow offset fossil fuels, industrial pollution, and crap we dump into the oceans seems shallow and simply misinformed. So before we cancel beef, let's actually take a look under the rock and understand that it's not just that simple. And Epicurious didn't say it was just that simple. You're the one building this weird straw man, Vindulge, because you're just trying to get some of those millions of followers to come over you with your dumbass hyper tag. If we've learned anything, it's that a balanced ecosystem is the most sustainable. A balanced diet is a healthy way to live, and that when we tip the balance to one side or the other, we fall off. I'm sorry, going away from beef does not throw off the balance of an ecosystem, because industrial beef is not part of a balanced ecosystem. But let's keep going. And I'm sorry, I'm rambling, and it's almost over here, I swear. P.S. hyperlink tag Epicurious. If you want to redirect those beef recipes to us, I can send you some links. And then they end it with this. If you're wondering, we buy our beef from, and then they just list all of their affiliate links at the end of this. I am going to say, by the way, Jeff Eccles, here's some inside baseball, everybody. One of the affiliate links would have been one of our affiliates if that deal went down with that one particular network. Everybody. Vindulge. These are the folks that make statements like, "Did you know you can make fondue outside?" and ask poignant questions like, "What's your favorite after school or work snack?" I know you're trying to sell like a grilling cookbook, and I'm sure it's good, but just don't be shitty. Just don't be shitty. There's nothing wrong about Epicurious saying, hey, we don't do beef recipes anymore. Sorry. It's not about you. it's not about you, Vindulge. It's about the We Like Drinking podcast that has been canceling beef since 2015. We've never done a beef episode. We never will do a beef episode. Oh, look, you want to eat a hamburger? That's cool. But we're not going to do a beef episode. I'm sorry.
That's not true.
Okay, hot dogs once a year.
There you go.
I have friends that eat beef.
No, I wasn't praying. I was thinking about how I could work in the fact that they said something about refined oils, and I can't remember the last time I checked a can of 10 W40.
I'm just sorry. And obviously, me reading an article word for word is actually pretty bad radio. So I apologize for putting everybody through that. But I just feel like you need to know it's not me that has shitty things to say. It's Vindulge. And I'm canceling Vindulge. I'm canceling my membership, which is just a like button. I'm pressing unlike as we speak right now. Vindulge, not following.
Gosh, there goes our big green egg.
Wow. You okay, Jeff?
No, I'm not okay.
Do you feel better?
Like I need some more. The espresso stout probably got me a little bit too.
You may want to put the espresso stout down. I think it might be
apparently in the comments at welikedrinking.com/show. I guess my arms were flapping so much it looks like I'm about to take flight.
Yeah, John, anything else to add to whatever that was?
No, I gotta get to bed.
Grocery shopping. Do you like it?
You know what? I actually happened to see that they posted that.
What's your favorite place to buy meat?
No, I actually saw that survey or something like that on my news feed a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, who is this? And why are they asking stupid questions like that? I mean,
I'm just sorry. Like, you know what it is?
I know grocery shopping, I hate it, but I like to eat more than I dislike going grocery shopping.
Okay, here's the thing. We're punchy. We're on our way out, coming out of these boxes that we've been living in for over a year. And what I'm seeing is I'm just not like taking bullshit anymore. Because it's bullshit that got us into this mess. Like, and I'm talking about the mess of fucking like insincere social media, things on the internet, just trying to get eyeballs on you. And it's just like so gross. And it leads to these more like, and while I don't think that as shitty as Vindulge is as a social media presence, I don't think that there's any malice, but I think that they're also just full of bullshit. They're just going to give you things. They don't care whether or not it's real. They just want to ride this wave. But that's the same shit that it's along the same lines of the same disinformation that China and Russia like to put into our feeds too. Like it's just garbage.
No, yeah, it is garbage. But you know what it is? It's they're trying to be disingenuously cute.
Ain't nothing cute about like they're literally using the word cancel in there multiple times because they know it hits an algorithm that gets like certain eyes on it, and it's like it's dumb.
It's cute. It's cute.
It's not. It's just gross, man. Like, I'm just going to start like insincerely being, and here's the great thing. I'm insincerely complaining about Vindulge,
I know that.
insincerely complaining about Epicurious. That's why it's really fun for me. But it's this repeating like gross pattern that I just want to get rid of. Do you remember going into the whole coronavirus thing? Remember us yelling about the couple that was obviously faking drones flying wine to their quarantine cruise ship?
Right.
And it's like it was garbage then and it's garbage now. This is the equivalent of saying, oh yeah, drones flew in the exact same wine that is on our plane. That is on our cruise. And it's like, it's just
an insincere ploy for attention.
Yeah. As Dan said, it's mock outrage. It's fake outrage. It's
wine can chicken. That's the thing that people need. Hawaiian punch can chicken. Oh, it can be any can? Is that what you're saying, Vindulge? Okay. It can be any can.
Okay.
Can of corn.
Deep breath, Jeff Solomon.
Pork and beans, canned chicken.
Last call.
Last call. I need it.
Anybody for pork and beans?
Time to clean house, lock the doors, and start writing some apology letters. So you know what we do here, folks. We're looking for a little bit of help from you. John Ruyak, if the folks want to follow us on the social media platforms, how could they do so?
There is a couple of really key places to do that. That's Twitter. That's We Like Drinking 1, the numeral 1. Instagram is just We Like Drinking. And of course, we talk about this all the time, but if you're not on it, you're not nobody. Join us on the tavern, WeLikeDrinking.com/tavern.
Jeff Solomon, if the folks have thoughts that they want, if they have grievances they want to air about us, where can they go to do so?
The best of this poll.
So those of you that are in the chat watching live, as you ought to do every Tuesday night around 7:30ish Pacific, let us know in the chat right now. Grocery shopping, do you love it or hate it? And then those of you that are listening audio only right now, take a look at your phones, take a look at your podcast catcher app. You know what? I want to reach out to the Spotify folks. Do they get us on Spotify?
Yes, they do.
Yeah. So I want you to give us a 5-star review, and I want you to tell us, is a hot dog a sandwich? It really helps the algorithm.
And if you've done all
passively,
that,
aggressively tag Vindulge and Epicurious while you're at it.
I love that you're doing everything you're railing against, essentially. If you've done
Does pineapple belong on pizza?
No.
If you've done all that and you're looking to do more, consider becoming a patron of the We Like Drinking podcast by visiting WeLikeDrinking.com/pledge. Find out how for as little as $1 a month you can help support the show and keep the soapboxes under Jeff Solomon's feet. That's what we do with it.
But soapboxes are so expensive
and so slippery. But unfortunately, we'd reached the time of the show where I get to say, okay, panel, let's take one last trip around this table and get some final thoughts before we shut off the lights. John Ruyak.
You know, the last couple of days have been difficult but fun. It's a true lesson in be careful what you wish for.
Very true. Jeff Solomon.
Is a burrito a sandwich?
No.
It is.
It's not. It's a wrap.
What's a wrap? Describe a wrap.
And
without
with
saying
that,
sandwich.
I'll say thanks again for joining us at the We Like Drinking podcast. where you'll never drink alone.
Do you buy your meat at a grocery store? Wow, what a great stream. What a your stream is so hot and moist.
And as Brad says, that's a wrap. Oh my word.
Is a falafel sandwich a taco?
Is it on pita bread?
Yes.
So technically.
Well, that was
Are chickpeas made of baby chickens?
that was an interesting episode. You okay, Jeff? Do you feel better?
I guess. Everybody in the chat, let me know. I feel like that segment went a little flat. It was a little flat. Yeah, you can be honest. I can take it.
It went
It went a while.
long.
It's one of those ones where Eccles is going to show me like the audio spikes afterwards. He goes, and here's you, and it's like a solid bar for 10 minutes.
I have done that before.
Yes, you have.
Oh shit. What's next week? I knew this earlier today. Something interesting, I think.
Oh, is it Kirin from Vindulge?
Yes.
No,
That's right.
It's Sarah's Vineyard next
Oh, is it
week.
Sarah's Vineyards next
Sarah's
week?
Vineyard next week. Okay.
Yeah.
Still haven't gotten any wine, but all right.
I haven't either.
I did get my beer.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, I gave 2 of them away to my guys for helping me.
Okay.
But they have to bring back the empty can and give me a book report on what it tasted like.
Perfect. There you go.
We got those books. We got books.
Yeah. We got the books.
I love having authors, but then I have to read everybody.
Well,
I never learned how to read.
Dude, read that book and you're like, cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. I mean, what it would take to trick out your bar to make all this shit.
Oh, right.
Thousands of dollars.
Cool. All right. So Sarah's Vineyard next week. That should be interesting. Out of Gilroy, California. So
we're going to send Jeff down there to do an on location?
I don't think he'll go.
Are they vaccinated?
All right.
Dude, it looks like your ceiling is like 3 inches above your head. It really does.
All right, viewers. Thank you. Viewers, I know it was a long one tonight, almost an hour and a half. Thank you all for sticking with us. Sometimes we just have shows that get a little wild, man. It happens.
But see what happens when you drink yuzu sea salt beer.
Right. We will talk to you all next week. Thanks for hanging out with us.
What's your favorite hot dog topping?